I wanted to put this little video together here. This video is not about butchering. It's a video on how to properly clean your deer. I know everybody has a different way of doing it, but there's kind of like three different things here that I do that I think really makes your deer taste a lot better. And I kind of want to, point this towards maybe the younger hunter, that maybe looking for a different way of doing it. And the first step is to debone your deer. Don't leave no bones in your deer whatsoever. Just tell you a little story. Back whenever I was a teenager, the first deer I ever killed, um, got it skinned out and everything real good, but I didn't know how to butcher. That was one of the things. And I've always ate round steak and pork steaks and everything, but I didn't know how to butcher. But I took one of the hindquarters into the house, and my uncle, he grabbed the hindquarter and he started cutting these big slabs of meat off of the hindquarter. And I thought, well, maybe that's the way you do it. I wasn't for sure, but we sat down and ate some of it. I believe it was that evening. It smelled good cooking, but once I started eating it, I could actually take a spoon and take the deer fat off the roof of my mouth. I mean, so that's step number two is getting all that fat and all the sinew out, all of it that you can. Now I know you're not going to get all of it out, but but if you take that little extra time and get your deer cleaned up, get all that fat, get the sinew out as most as you can, it's going to make all the difference in the world. And I'm going to I'm going to do a segment here too on the grinding portion. I'm going to show you, that'll be step number 3 on getting real good taste out of your grinds. So I'm going to go ahead and start deboning this. I'll video a little bit of it, and but like I said, this is not a butchering video. It's just a video on how to get the best taste out of your deer that you can. So I'll go ahead and start deboning this, and we'll go from there. Don't have a real good butchering table, but I do have a good block here though. Yeah, you just want to debone, debone the whole thing. No special way of deboning it, just yep, it looks pretty good. Okay, there you go. It's all done. Now what you want to do is you just want to start just cleaning this deer up. Just get all that fat, all that you can out of there. Like I said, you ain't gonna get it all, but what you can get out of it, it'll be worth it, and I promise you that. I'm going to go ahead and get all this cleaned up, and I'll get back with you here in just a little bit. Okay, I just wanted to show everybody that that's everything out of one front shoulder right there. All the fat, sinew, and everything that I got out of it. You need to take that little bit of extra time to get that stuff out, and you'll have a lot better tasting deer. And there's what I ended up with off of one shoulder. You can see there's still a little bit of stuff in there. Like I said, you ain't gonna get it all out, but if you just take your time and get all of it out that you can, it's gonna make all the difference in the world. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of this deer cleaned up, and I am gonna show you one cut on the hind quarter real quick here in just a little bit, and I'm gonna show you one cut on the hind quarter to get steaks out of. So I'm gonna shut her off, and I'll be back with you in a little bit. The one cut I wanted to show you on the hind quarter. This will make your best steaks in the hind quarter. This front muscle right up here. Just cut into this knuckle right here, and pull it back, and then just follow that. I think it's the femur bone that goes down. Just follow that femur bone all the way down to the other end, and then just take that muscle right off right there. And now all you gotta do is just cut it into steaks. How big you want them. This makes a really nice steak. Going for grinds. So that's that muscle in the hind quarter I wanted to show you how to do. So get the rest of this done, and I'll come back and show you how I do my grinds. Alright, there's what I ended up for grinds right there. I'm gonna have to weigh it, and there's all the junk that I took out of it, and that's gonna make a world of difference in how that deer tastes with all that fat and stuff out of there. So I'm gonna get set up for my grinds real quick, and I'll show you what I do there. Okay, now we're going to start grinding here in just a second, but as you can see, this is what I put in my deer after I get it all leaned up and get all that fat and stuff out of it. A lot of times I'll go and buy hickory smoked bacon, real fatty stuff, but this time I found a butcher over in one of the towns over here where I live that had this pork fat for 59 cents a pound. So I went over and bought a bunch of it, and this really makes a difference in the way your deer tastes. It'll hold it together, and it just gives it all around better flavor. So we're going to go ahead and get to grinding this, and I'll show you my grinder here. This is my grinder here. It ain't it's not a real big grinder. I bought it off of Walmart.com, and it's ground a lot of deer. I mean, it does the job. You know, I've got 15 pounds of meat here to grind, and I mean, it's more than big enough to do the job. It won't take me very long to do it at all. So just one of these inexpensive grinders will do the job also. So don't invest anything big unless you're going to do a lot, but this one here really does the job. Okay, we're going to grind it twice. That way it'll get the pork fat mixed up really good with the deer meat, so we'll go ahead and get started. This is kind of loud, so. We have one grind, so we're gonna, all this pork fat that's in here, we're gonna go ahead and get this good and mixed up, and we're gonna send it through the grinder one more time. Tell you what, this will be the best venison you've ever ate. Alright, there you have it. Got about 15 pounds of, 15, 16, 17 pounds of ground venison mixed with pork fat, about 10-15% pork fat, like 10 pounds of deer to a pound of pork fat, maybe a little bit more, just whatever your preference is. But now it's, all I gotta do is get it wrapped, get it in the freezer, and you know, by no means is you know, any of these things that I showed you I developed myself. You know, I learned this stuff over the years, and you know, I just wanted to bring a video to show you, you know, maybe a different way of doing your deer, maybe a young person, you know, wanting to try to figure out how to process their deer. And this is the best way that I've found, you know, by just getting all that junk out of it and mixing it up with some pork fat, or you could even use beef suet or something if you wanted to. But I like the pork fat myself, so well, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you get some use out of it. So till next time, we'll see you later.